we are going to discuss every single UFC champion's next opponent, and if it's a scheduled fight already, we're going to discuss what's next for the division. We're going to start off at the heavyweight division and end off at men's flyweight. Starting off at the heavyweight division, you have champion Jon Jones taking on Stipe Miocic. I think it's been pretty obvious that Jon Jones is going to retire after this fight. Regardless if he wins or loses against Stipe, I think it's obvious he's out and done from the UFC, which leads to Tom Aspinall, the interim champion, becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion. And I think what's next for Tom Aspinall in the heavyweight division is the winner of Ciryl Gane and Alexander Volkov. Ciryl Gane hasn't faced Tom Aspinall yet, so that would be a new, clean, fresh matchup in the heavyweight division. And Alexander Volkov is on a 4-fight win streak right now since he last lost to Tom Aspinall. And if he beats Ciryl Gane, that's a 5-fight win streak in the heavyweight division. Beating Ciryl Gane and Sergey Pavlovich, I think that is more than right for him to face Tom Aspinall in a great rematch in the heavyweight division. Now, into the light heavyweight division, we have another scheduled fight. Alex Pereira taking on Khalil Roundtree in just a couple weeks. I think this is a great fight. I think Alex Pereira beats Khalil Roundtree. It's kind of weird that we're having this matchup with the rankings so far apart between each other, which leads to, I think the next opponent for Alex Pereira, if he beats Khalil Roundtree, is obvious. It's Magomed Ankalaev. But Magomed Ankalaev also has a scheduled fight against Alexander Rakic. And I think if Magomed Ankalaev beats Rakic, it's clear he's the next in line for the light heavyweight division. However, if Rakic beats Magomed Ankalaev, I don't think he is deserving of a title shot, but since there's nobody else really left in the light heavyweight division, I could see that happening. Now, in the middleweight division, you have Dricus du Plessis, the champion, who just defeated Israel Adesanya, and I think it's pretty obvious. The clear opponent next for Dricus du Plessis should be the winner of Robert Whittaker and Khamzat Chimaev. A lot of people think it should be Sean Strickland, and I really disagree with that. Sean Strickland just has one win since losing to Dricus du Plessis, which is against Paulo Costa, and Robert Whittaker has 2 wins, who he beat Paulo Costa and Ikram Aliskerov, and if he beats Khamzat Chimaev, that's a 3-fight win streak since he last lost to Dricus du Plessis, and I think that's more deserving than Sean Strickland. I know Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis might be more of an entertaining fight, but in a meritocracy world of who's more deserving of a title shot, I think it's Robert Whittaker, only if he beats Khamzat Chimaev. If Khamzat Chimaev does beat Robert Whittaker, I think they'll give him to Dricus du Plessis. It's a fresh matchup. Khamzat will still be undefeated. And I think a lot of people would like to see Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling against Dricus du Plessis. Now in the welterweight division, you have a new champion, Belal Muhammad, who just defeated Leon Edwards. A lot of people think Belal should be fighting Kamaru Usman or maybe Sean Brady next, and I think his next opponent is Shavkat Rakhmonov. A lot of people think Belal Muhammad should fight Kamaru Usman because of the name and recognition that Kamaru Usman has brought to the division. A lot of people think it should be Sean Brady, who's coming off that great win against Gilbert Burns. But I think it has to be the man who is undefeated and has 18 straight finishes, and that's Shavkat Rakhmonov. If Shavkat Rakhmonov can't fight Belal Muhammad right now, I think the next challenger should be Jack Della Maddalena. They're both great contenders in the welterweight division. It's a fresh matchup, and it's new fighters that we're seeing fight for the belt. I don't want to keep seeing this reoccurring champion problems that we have at the lightweight and welterweight division, where it's Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, or Charles Oliveira, or in the welterweight division, it's Colby, Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns fighting for the belt constantly. I want to see fresh matchups. I want to see new contenders, and I think Shavkat Rakhmonov is a great fight for Belal Muhammad. And if Belal Muhammad can beat Shavkat Rakhmonov, put a loss in his record, that is a great win and a great title defense for Belal Muhammad, and it helps build up the welterweight division. Now, in the lightweight division, it's pretty clear. Islam Makhachev is going to take on Arman Tsarukyan. Arman's coming off that great win against Charles Oliveira, and I think that is the only deserving fight that should happen in the lightweight division. And if Arman can't fight, maybe we throw Dan Hooker in there or have Dan Hooker fight Justin Gaethje, and you can kind of get some next contenderships in the lightweight division. It just seems like without Arman, the lightweight division seems stale. You're just getting repeated championship fights. That's why Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan is the only choice for the lightweight championship fight. Now, in the featherweight division, we have another scheduled fight. Ilia Topuria taking on Max Holloway. That's happening in just 1 month. That's going to be a great fight. Still don't know who's going to win that. And I think obviously after that, Diego Lopez is next for the belt. I think he should wait, and he gets the title shot no matter what. I don't like Diego Lopez fighting Volkanovski. I don't like Movsar Emloev jumping ahead of Diego Lopez. I think Diego Lopez, he's been on a run. He's won 5 fights in a row since losing to Movsar Evloev, and I think he is deserving of the shot next after Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway fight. Now, in the Bantamweight division, we have brand new Bantamweight champion Merab Dvalishvili, and it's obvious his next opponent will be Umar Nurmagomedov. Everybody wants to see that fight. That's a heavy grappling fight, and I think that's the really only rightful person that can fight for the belt next. Corey Sandhagen lost to Umar. Sean O'Malley just lost, and I think that is a great fresh matchup between those two fighters. Merab taking on Umar Nurmagomedov. Finally, in the men's flyweight division, Alessandro Pantoja should be fighting the winner of Amir Albazi and Brandon Moreno. I know Brandon Moreno has lost 2 fights in a row, but he's fighting undefeated fighter Amir Albazi, and I think that's a great fight. Amir is undefeated in the UFC. He just beat Kayakar France, and I think Amir Albazi versus Brandon Moreno is a great fight for a #1 contender. And Brandon Moreno has been in the thick and thin of the championship fights, and I think if he can go through Amir Albazi, the only rightful spot next for the flyweight division is Pantoja versus Moreno, or Amir Albazi facing Pantoja. I think that is right for the flyweight division. These are my next opponents for every UFC champion. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comment section who you would like to see fight next, or which champion should fight who. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next video.